born and raised here for most of my life. I was brought up by my parents and letting me know that education was the key to have things like big houses, big cars, or a lot of cars. So my mom will share with us the stories of her hardship with her 5 siblings in her family trying to own things like big houses like falipalangis or a car. She witnessed her neighbors and other hyenas had these things. Her being the eldest and the only girl in the family watched her mom and dad work their fingers to the bone just to put food on the table for them. And this was done by her parents harvesting coconuts daily, day in and day out. She decided to quit school at a very young age so she can get a job, so she can help out her parents to put her siblings through schooling. Her siblings did pretty well. They did pretty good. They all graduated from high school. They were able to move off island, and most of them joined the military. And that's how people back then were earning money to bring in their families here in Samoa, in American Samoa, to build their homes and to help out the family. I was taught this is when my mother met my father when she was working. She worked at a very young age. She didn't finish school, but she quit school at the age of 14. And then she went into the nursing school to try to get a job, just to help out on her parents. This is when she met my father, and they got married and had born 8 kids. So that was including me and my other 7 siblings. My father passed away at a very young age, and that left my mother with 8 kids. And it was a burden in her that she had to send a lot of us to have her brothers take care of us back in the United States, in America. So I left home. I left home when I was 14 years old. I went to America, and the culture shock of how different things were back in America. I've learned a lot of my language, the Samoan language here, and my culture here. But when I went to the United States, this is when I lost my culture. I didn't speak the language very much. The way of things, the Samoa, the way we do things back home, I lost all of that. And to me, my culture wasn't that important, because education, like I mentioned before, education was very important, and that was the only thing that we could make, that you can have a better life, was through education. You know, you can't get anything from the Samoa, so I lost contact with my culture then. I joined the military after my high school, and that continually put that gap between me and my culture as well. So after I got out of the military, I lived in the States for about another 6 years. I lived in the United States for about 12 years of my life. I had to come back home. I moved back home to take care of my mom. She was ill at the time, and when I came back home, that's when I started to reconnect myself with my culture. Everything that I've learned when I was young, I lost all that, but coming back, I didn't think my culture was that important. It was all about education and getting things things that are important to us, like homes and cars and that sort of thing, and having a family. But having to learn about my culture again, that it really took me into deeper roots when I came back, deeper roots of my culture, and come to learn and understand that the Fa Samoa, or the Samoan way of life, is really very simple. It's all about fa'alalo and alofa. It's all about love and respect. So I had to relearn all that. And for me now, today, as a park ranger working for the National Park of American Samoa, I have learned that, and I am so I'm blessed. I'm so fortunate that I have this job. Something that I loved growing up was being out in the rainforest and in the ocean. And I get to do that with this job that I have with the National Park. I'm fortunate to have this. And for me, now nothing is more important now than for me to give back to my community, to share what I've learned from the past about my culture, about my experiences away from Samoa, and I bring all that in, and I try to help the younger generation, the next generation coming up, to actually learn from that and really learn about the deep and the trueness of the Fa Samoa, which is alofa, malfa'alalo, love and respect.